In a few moments, ladies and gentlemen, the bar will be closed except for the Hennessy Engineering table, so please take your seats, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to start the program in just a moment. We welcome you preliminarily to the greatest America's hometown across the great United States of America. On behalf of Mayor Joseph Cuspa, his family, and of course, the elected officials and the administrators and the employees of the city of Southgate, this annual great event that raises money on behalf of Rotary International for scholarship funds to help children engage in furthering their education, travel, and bettering the world. There's a great history to Rotary International, which once started and began here in the great state of Michigan and the city of Detroit. The Southgate Club is one of the premier clubs throughout the nation, throughout the world, just as it is for the city of Southgate, recognized worldwide as a great place to live, pretty big place to eat, and to do everything else. And I will tell you that as opposed to like the city of Lincoln Park, where they take their oath of office on the FanDuel Sportsbook, this is a city that is based, I should warn you that that's not a joke, that was true, so sorry. This is a city that is based in public service in every facet, in every organization, in every group. Rotary is one of the leaders, of course, in town here, along with the many other civic organizations and the great educational system we have here today. So it's going to be a fun program, a great program. Mayor Cuspa is going to honor with the community groups, with the business development in the community, the great awards for the community for 2023, 2024. We thank you for staying here. This monologue will be shorter than the one for the Emmys this year, and I won't offend either Taylor Swift, but I did mention her in the first 3 minutes of my talk, or any other groups here. Please stand and please welcome for the presentation of the colors, the Southgate Anderson Jr. ROTC under the direction of Colonel Jason Dye.
Mark time, march. Color guard, halt. Right, face. Post the colors. Present arms. Order arms. Left, face, forward, march.
Please let's give our thanks by a round of applause for the Southgate Anderson Jr. ROTC under the direction of Colonel Jason Dye. And a reminder, you'll see them when they retire the colors and they'll be allowed to go home. Please remain standing for the singing of the United States National Anthem from the Southgate Rotary Club, Christine Steeves. Christine, and you may have to hold the microphone. Step forward, please.
Thank you. Please join with me. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Thank you, Christine Steves from the Southgate Rotary Club. A wonderful voice, a great soprano, and I just saw your brother Rick special on PBS on North Korea. A good show. Thank you. Please remain standing for the invocation given by Father John Sabio from the St. George Greek Orthodox Church. Father, you're going to need like a crane to get the microphone up to your voice here.
I'll try my best here. Okay, thank you, sir. Lord, you bless the bread in the wilderness. Bless also the gifts which we're about to receive, and multiply them throughout the ends of the world, especially all the hungry and poor. We also ask you to bless the attendants and the civil servants who tirelessly serve us. For you're blessed now and always to the ages of ages. Amen. Thank you, sir. God bless you.
Thank you, Father. Once again, we welcome you to Southgate and all the good work your church does here, too. You may be seated for lunch, ladies and gentlemen. Please note, during the lunch, the display in the back of the Southgate Police Department on the board, Officer Kreslin will be explaining the good the department does in the community. Take note of it, and please, when you see on the front screen the table sponsors, please thank them, and please patronize their business. Some of their business is evident at the table that they're hosting you today. We thank all the sponsors and enjoy your lunch, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you all for joining us here for this great luncheon today. And we appreciate the many courtesies of the staff here at Crystal Gardens, which is involved in elements all throughout the community, in other enterprises, other operations, working to make the city a better place, mostly to eat and play, but also a good place to live. Before we start the program, it's our privilege to introduce the elected officials that are here today. City Clerk for Life, Jan Ferenc. Thank you for joining us today, Jan. All of the city council members, please stand. Let's have a round of applause for we see Councilman Roush, Philip Roush, and Priscilla Ayers-Reese. Thank you for joining us. The firm Swift with Justice and an intellectual member of the District Court bench, Southgate's judge on the District Court, Judge Elizabeth Mullins. Thank you for joining us. The superintendent for the Southgate Community Schools District, Sharon Irvine. Sharon, thank you. And Wayne State University Law School grad. Thank you for joining us. A friend from the neighborhood of the South, Southgate with more trees, but it's a township. The township supervisor for Brownstown Township, Supervisor Ed Smith. Ed, thank you for coming again. And he's here with the entire police department. Chief, Deputy Chief, thank you for joining us. Mr. Hennessy, if you want to get home in a hurry, you should leave right now. Thank you. Mayor Swift from Riverview. Mayor, thank you for joining us once again. From the Wayne County Executive's Office, Lucius Anthony. Lucius, thank you again for joining us. We thank the county for its work with us in moving forward memorable projects that will define not only Southgate, but downriver in the future and into the next century. Our county commissioner, also for life, Joe Palomera. Joe, thank you for joining us. We have a trustee here who's hiding behind a camera from Brownstown Township. Dave Chapman, where are you? Dave, photographer, reporter, journalist, and now township trustee. Oh, he's right there. Thank you. Let's hear it for Dave. He's balancing his career between two of the biggest professions under fire today, public service and being part of the press. And we wish you well on both. I think it's appropriate now that we thank and applaud the table sponsors who have all joined here today to help promote the scholarships and the future leadership promoted by Southgate, Rotary International, and the international organization. A round of applause, please, for all of the great table sponsors and the event sponsors here today. And I have a list somewhere. We'll find it later. Oh, here they are. No, we don't have it yet. We'll figure out the list, and we'll get it to you later. But please welcome the council president for the City of Southgate, first runner-up in the Taylor Swift look-alike contest here. She sings better, actually. Please welcome Council President Zoe Cuspa for presenting the award. No, I didn't. Oh, these, yes, yes. You have a list? All right.
Yeah, I'm good. Hello, everyone. Our first award goes to a business that made a substantial improvement to their facade in 2023. Oh. Gosh. Is that better? We're good? Is that better? No?
Gamble with the future here. Put it right.
Okay, is that better?
You have to talk actually.
Talk in this one? Wow, what is happening here?
I'm gonna have to make the volume louder.
Are we good? Okay. Our first award goes to a business that made a substantial improvement to their facade in 2023. Southgate is very fortunate to have had numerous businesses make continuous upgrades to their facilities, but Royal Cement was the real standout this year. In May of 2023, owner Roy Santos began work on his Southgate location at 14063 Dix Toledo. Many people know this building to be the former home of the Falcons Hall. Since the hall's closure, this building was in great need of updating, and Royal Cement went above and beyond to fully modernize this commercial space. From their complete overhaul of the building and attractive new design features to showcasing their own cement work with a newly poured parking lot and flat work, Royal Cement has not only revitalized their own new space, but has significantly contributed to the aesthetic enhancement of their corner and the surrounding corridor. We are grateful to the owners of Royal Cement and thank them for their investment. I am honored to present Royal Cement with this year's Business Facade Improvement Award. Our next award is for New Business of the Year. As always, this is always a difficult category to choose a winner for, as there were dozens of new businesses that invested in Southgate in 2023. But we had to narrow it down to just one. Located on Eureka Road, Southgate Honda and Southgate Honda Power Sports is part of the Reineke family of dealerships based in Ohio. Known for their outstanding customer service and commitment to excellence, Southgate is pleased to welcome the Reinekes and their first Michigan dealership location to our community. Since their opening, their success in sustainable growth, technology utilization, and effective networking has been second to none. Southgate Honda's presence not only brings quality automotive services, but also a dedication to fostering long-term relationships with and within the community. We thank Dan, Alex, and Susie Reineke for their confidence in our city and wish them continued success. I am happy to present Southgate Honda and Southgate Honda Power Sports with the 2023 New Business of the Year Award. Please come forward. Our Longevity Award celebrates a Southgate business who has been here for at least 25 years. Opened in 1998, MJR Southgate Cinema 20 was the chain's first megaplex. Through the years, they have demonstrated a great commitment in bringing innovation and modernization to their theaters. Most recently, in the fall of 2023, they opened their first IMAX auditorium here in the city of Southgate. This completely redesigned auditorium is equipped with revolutionary IMAX laser technology. This is the most advanced IMAX theater experience to date and a Michigan first. Their evolution and dedication in providing first-class entertainment has made Southgate MJR a hub for the entire Downriver community to enjoy the magic of movies. As we all know, it is indeed more fun at MJR. We thank Director Tom McCollum and Southgate General Manager Corey Robbins for their continued partnership and hard work. I am pleased to present Southgate MJR with this year's Business Longevity Award. Please come forward. The Community Engagement Award highlights a business whose business model includes consistent commitment and support of the community. Downriver Community Federal Credit Union exhibits great dedication to our community in numerous ways. They have shown significant engagement with the City of Southgate and our Downtown Development Authority through such things as event sponsorships, seasonal decorating contests at Market Center Park, and the hosting of the Classic Car Show during our Heritage Days. Beyond their support of the city, they organize free car wash Fridays where local school sports teams, clubs, and community organizations are able to raise funds through the car wash donations. Further, Downriver Community Federal Credit Union is committed to fostering a professional and business development. They hold networking lunches on their back patio every Friday during the summer. Their Grow Your Business workshops feature renowned speakers and can serve as a valuable resource for anyone looking to enhance their entrepreneurial, networking, and professional skills. The list of their contributions to this community truly goes on and on. We thank Mark Tremper and the entire staff at Downriver Community Federal Credit Union for their great commitment to Southgate. I am honored to present them with this year's Community Engagement Award. Please come forward. Our final award was chosen by the residents of Southgate. Located at 18829 Eureka Road, Game Time is Downriver's go-to trading card gaming store and tournament center. Game Time's unique offerings bring a fresh and exciting dimension to Southgate, providing a space where players can engage in niche hobbies and activities. Beyond their distinctive products and services, Game Time has succeeded in making these hobbies accessible to anyone, ensuring that their offerings cater to a diverse gaming audience. Owner DJ Mayer promotes a place for both adults and children to engage in gaming, learning new techniques, and meeting other people from the gaming community. His proactive and welcoming approach in building relationships with his customers, regardless of their skill level, reinforces the appropriateness of this recognition. It's my pleasure to present Game Time with the 2023 People's Choice Business Award. Please come up, DJ.
Thank you, Madam Council President, and Folks, there's nothing more special than a family being committed to community. And that typifies many of you who are here today and your commitment to what goes on in this great little town. And we want it to continue, and that's why you're donating to scholarships for the funds here for Rotary International to consider and continue their good work to develop a pride and a sense of community and spirit, not just in this community, but communities all across the world. That's why Rotary International is an important organization that started here in the state of Michigan, spread worldwide, and needs to be perpetuated. By the way, I see the former mayor of the city of Taylor, Greg Petoniak. Thank you for joining us, Mayor. Did we miss any elected officials who aren't running in a presidential primary here today? Would you hold your hand if you're... All right, thank you. Back to community. There's something that could be said about the Cuspa family that lives with the spirit of family in Southgate. The two are so intertwined that everything that personifies what is good, what is forward-looking, what is the spirit of growth, of independence, and a spirit of the future is found in the Cuspa family and their dedication. And it's with that we welcome and introduce, again for his State of the City address, the Mayor of the City of Southgate, Mayor Joseph Cuspa.
Oh my goodness. Thank you, Ed. Thank you everybody for being here. Another wonderful event in the great city of Southgate. You know, I had a little epiphany on the way in. You know, cities have mottos and slogans. You know, ours for many years were dining capital of the downriver. I know Councilman Roush was around, served at that time when we were known for that. And then most recently, we changed it to basically celebrating the spirit of our community. But we're a little bit more than restaurants. And so I had an epiphany today, and I said, you know, I think we should simply be called Southgate, the city conveniently located just 16 miles south of Ford Field. I'll have to run it by council. I don't know, Priscilla, what do you think of that? Okay. Well, I'd like to thank everybody that were a part of this event today, and Ed touched on those. So again, thank you for everybody being here and supporting the scholarship program. I talked to Steve just prior to this address, and the amount of funds that have been raised over the last decade is approaching about $35,000, $40,000. So congratulations to you all as well. I'd like to express my sincere gratitude to all of you for joining me this afternoon for the presentation of Southgate's 2024 State of the City Address. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my honor to once again stand before you to discuss the progress of our great city. 2023 was another successful year for our community. Perhaps not as spectacular as a year as the Michigan football program or the Detroit Lions, but we certainly made a few important touchdowns of our own. And like the Wolverines and Lions, success involves teamwork, and just as importantly, talent. Former President Ronald Reagan once said, "There are no limits to growth because there are no limits to human intelligence, imagination, and wonder." These winning attributes are noteworthy, especially in a team setting. So whether you're a coach, a player, or even a mayor, you cannot consistently move the ball forward without good, competent people around you. As I reflect on my 14 years as mayor, I'm continually amazed by the caliber of people who serve this great community with me. Our employees, commissioners, vendors, community volunteers, and fellow elected officials. Together, year after year, there has been innovation, realistic problem solving, and a consistent commitment to our core responsibilities. Those responsibilities include financial integrity, public safety, strong neighborhoods, a welcoming business environment, and the modernization of our infrastructure and public spaces for this generation of Southgate residents and for all those who follow. I am also grateful for the support for so many people in this community and many in this very room who have been with me every step of the way. My family, friends, staff members, business leaders, and fellow residents. Thank you for your continued confidence in my administration and the vision we share for our city. The challenges we dealt with in 2023 were most notably external in nature. Municipalities, like household budgets, were not immune to record high inflation. And like the business community, we also had to deal with continued labor shortages and weaknesses in our supply chain. Many positions, primarily part-time, were extremely difficult to fill and remain unfilled, and some of them remain unfilled. But despite those external forces, we continue to work together to mitigate those challenges. That spirit of work ethic, collaboration, and determination has served this community well. An example of our commitment to sound financial planning and implementation was once again validated this past December by Plant Moran, our independent auditing firm. They reported that the City of Southgate received an unmodified audit opinion, which means that we received the highest grade or highest form of assurance for our 2022-23 financial transactions. This marks the 13th consecutive year that the City of Southgate has received this level of recognition. But this positive finding alone does not fully illustrate our total success in our financial stewardship. Not only did we continue to maintain a balanced budget, we also increased our unrestricted fund balance by $250,000, while also reducing our outstanding debt obligation by over $700,000. The elimination of our general fund debt has been a difficult yet consistent goal of my administration. When I first became mayor of the City of Southgate, the general debt obligation was over $14 million. Today, that debt is down to $1.9 million. Thank you. That represents an 86% reduction in our general debt. This is one of the statistics that I take a great deal of pride in. We simply didn't borrow our way out of any revenue shortfalls. We implemented policies that effectively responded to the critical needs and financial realities of our community. At this rate, and with our continued commitment to budgetary efficiencies and constraint, the general outstanding debt of the City of Southgate will be eliminated within the next 18 to 24 months. It's very gratifying to note that we can now measure that goal in months rather than years. Keeping Southgate on sound financial footing has allowed my administration to be more fully address the day-to-day needs of our community. Of those needs, none is more important than public safety. Whether you are a resident, business owner, or visitor, public safety is the cornerstone of any great community. In 2023, our public safety departments were put to the test and indeed rose to the occasion. One such incident occurred this past October 3rd. On that afternoon, the City of Southgate experienced the largest residential building fire in our 66-year history. It occurred at the 3-story Meadows Senior Apartment Complex on Allen Road. The incident also demonstrated the value of our downriver mutual aid system. Once the alarm went out, seven additional surrounding communities came to our assistance. As the fire raged through the building, the combined rescue effort became more difficult since many of the senior residents had mobility issues. Some had to be carried down 3 flights of stairs or rushed out in walkers or wheelchairs. As a result of their heroic efforts, many of the first responders required medical attention at the scene, and some required hospitalization. Fortunately, none of the injuries turned out to be life-threatening. But the most miraculous result is that there were no loss of life, and all 129 senior residents were safely evacuated from the burning structure. On behalf of the 30,000 residents of the City of Southgate, I would like to once again acknowledge and thank our police officers and firefighters, along with those who assisted us from Allen Park, Brownstown Township, Ecorse, Riverview, Taylor, Trenton, and Wyandotte. We would not have experienced such a positive result without the actions of all of these dedicated first responders. The extraordinary efforts continued even after the fire was extinguished. Through coordination with the Red Cross and other service organizations, we were able to provide temporary shelter for the affected residents in our banquet facility. and the residents of Southgate and the entire downriver region came together and generously donated much-needed clothing, food, and personal hygiene items for the fire victims. This level of response did not go unnoticed. Representatives from the Red Cross indicated that the city's collaborative efforts and the amount of resources that were quickly pulled together should serve as a best practices to other communities going through a similar disaster. In addition to the October fire, our fire department responded to over 5,200 calls for service in 2023. A majority of those calls were EMS related. But the most relevant statistic within those numbers is that the Southgate Fire Department's average response time was just over 4 minutes. The national standard for response time is 8 minutes, which makes our local response time nearly 50% faster than other suburban communities across this country. This further exemplifies how our dedicated firefighters have remained focused on keeping our residents safe. In 2023, our fire department also transitioned to a new fire chief. With the retirement of Mark Hatfield last May, Justin Graves now leads the department. Chief Graves has over 40 years of experience in Southgate. In his short tenure as chief, he has focused on working with other downriver departments to identify grant opportunities for upgrading equipment that will keep our firefighters and residents safe. On the police side of public safety, 2023 was a year of enhanced training, technological upgrades, public outreach, and successful recruiting. Investing in continued education and proper officer training has been a consistent commitment of my administration. In 2023, our officers completed nearly 300 hours of certified police training. These critical subjects included de-escalation techniques, mental health first aid, crisis intervention, and appropriate defense tactics. The department also received extensive training in a new dimension of policing, the skies. Our new drone program was implemented in March. We now have 2 drones and 5 officers who are certified to be drone pilots. Last summer, I had the opportunity to experience the immense value of our drone program during a routine police surveillance exercise. It was incredible to witness the precision of this new equipment and the capabilities of our officers. This land-to-air coordination has already proven to be a valuable tool for our law enforcement efforts, and I must say it's pretty cool too. Yeah, they're on display in the back if you hadn't seen them before the program here. This new Eyes in the Sky program was joined by an Eyes in the Neighborhood initiative that was introduced this past month. Officially known as the Southgate the Southgate Community Video Surveillance Program, this program involves the voluntary cooperation of our residents and business owners. The goal is to develop a list of locations that have door cameras and property owners who are willing to share footage if something happens. At no time would our police department have direct access to the cameras or the footage. But if something does occur in a particular area of the city, the officers would be able to quickly contact registered property owners in that same area and ask to view the footage to see if the cameras recorded anything that would be helpful in an investigation. The Southgate Police Department is intentional in their desire to connect with and serve our residents. The men and women of our force understand the value of continuing to build those relationships. Last year, they were once again actively involved with numerous fundraising, informational, and community events. Whether it is meeting with our senior citizens to discuss internet safety, hosting a cornhole tournament during our Heritage Day celebration, assisting with local food banks, or working with the Southgate Rotary to present our annual Faith in Blue event, our officers remain engaged. But perhaps one of the most significant collaborations that took place in 2023 was between our police department and the Southgate Community School District. Throughout the year, the police administration held meetings with school district officials and teachers to review safety protocols and perform building security assessments in the event of a security breach or incident. This extensive process culminated in a series of mock lockdown drills that were held in each school this past fall. After each exercise, a detailed report was created that included a minute-by-minute and then sometimes second-by-second timeline for the response in regards to the activity during the drill. Great care and oversight was taken during each exercise to identify any deficiencies or areas of concern. A new series of drills will begin this spring, all with the objective of keeping our students, teachers, and first responders safer and more prepared. According to Downriver SWAT leadership, the City of Southgate is the first community in this region to institute this level of collaboration and preparedness in our schools. I commend our public safety departments and Southgate Community School District Superintendent Sharon Irvine for implementing this vitally important program. Keeping our police department fully staffed has been a reoccurring issue for Southgate and departments all across this country. To help address this reoccurring issue, we expanded the benefits of our cadet program in 2023. Originally, our cadet program consisted of reimbursing applicants for the cost of tuition to the police academy. This past year, with the assistance of a Michigan law enforcement reimbursement program, we also were able to offer applicants employment while attending the academy. So not only is the tuition covered, but our cadets receive compensation during earning their accreditation. This added incentive has increased interest and has made it more attractive to our young men and women who are seeking a career in law enforcement. In 2023, we had 3 candidates go through this program and are now sworn officers of the Southgate Police Department. This year, we have an additional recruit that will be starting the academy this week. As I reflect on the totality of all of these initiatives, it has been a creative and noteworthy year for public safety. And as much as I appreciate these efforts on a local level, it is extremely gratifying to receive independent recognition beyond our borders. In February of last year, the department received their state accreditation from the Michigan Law Enforcement Accreditation Commission. This recognition places our police department as one of the leading departments in the state of Michigan. This was an extensive process that involved analyzing every aspect of our police department. By receiving this advanced level of accreditation, the Southgate Police Department is now in the top 10% of agencies throughout the state. Then last summer, the department also received 2 significant certifications from the International Association of Chiefs of Police, or the IACP. The first involved the completion of the quote-unquote One Mind Pledge. This program focused on ensuring successful interactions between law enforcement and persons with mental health conditions. Among other requirements, the pledge required that all of our officers be trained in mental health first aid and to establish a sustainable partnership with a mental health organization to address any ongoing issues that may develop. Across the country, the Southgate Police Department is one of only 11 agencies that have been approved to receive certification of completing the One Mind Pledge. The importance of this training for our officers about the interactions with individuals who experience mental health issues became very poignant this year. On 2 separate occasions, our officers responded to calls in which an individual was in a suicidal state. Fortunately, on both instances, our officers were able to talk with the person, console them, and successfully prevent them from taking their own life. They weren't able to join us, but I'd still like to acknowledge them. They were Officers Zach Zielinski, Chris Parsons, and Matt Simoniak, for their spirit of compassion and understanding the difficult emotional times some of our residents are experiencing. The second award from the IACP involved a trust-building campaign pledge that focused on compliance with 6 key areas of law enforcement. Those areas are bias-free policing, use of force, leadership and culture, recruitment, hiring and retention, victim services, and community relations. The Southgate Police Department also excelled in all aspects of this pledge. To date, only 115 agencies across the nation have completed the pledge process and received certification. And we are the only police department in the state of Michigan to do so. These programs and recognitions only confirm that our public safety officials are not standing by the sidelines. They are aggressively and proactively working to meet the needs of our community. Special thanks to our Public Safety Director, Joe Marsh, and Police Chief Mark Midlars for leading these efforts, and to all of our firefighters and police officers for their service to our community. Another department that I consider to be the third branch of our first responders is our Department of Public Services. DPS Director Kevin Anderson and his team do a remarkable job with the resources they have. The city has over 65 miles of roads and neighborhood streets. Underneath, we have another 88 miles of water mains, some of which are over 80 years old. The men and women of our DPS are out making repairs 24/7 and often in the worst conditions. During the recent frigid winter storm, the city experienced numerous water main breaks, many of them at the most inopportune times. But due to the dedication of our DPS crews, each break was resolved quickly and with almost no disruption of service to our residents. Hard work is indeed important, but financial investment in our infrastructure is also a crucial component for long-term sustainability. Therefore, in 2023, we invested nearly $3 million in neighborhood roads, sewer repairs, and water main relining. Since starting the relining program, we have not experienced a single break in any of the treated water mains. This process greatly increases the life of our transmission pipes, as well as enhances the integrity of our water supply. Our DPS mechanics also do a remarkable job maintaining and maximizing the life of our municipal vehicles. But eventually, things need to be replaced. In 2023, we upgraded our DPS fleet with a new street sweeper, Caterpillar backhoe, and multi-purpose industrial Vactor truck. As we dealt with inflation, it is interesting to note that these three pieces of equipment alone cost over $1 million. Just as we took a major step toward addressing the heavy equipment needs of our DPS, we also continue to modernize our local parks and recreational facilities. In 2023, Phase 2 of Cobb Park was completed with the installation of a new playscape specifically designed for children ages 3 to 5 years old. The balance of the year was focused on laying the groundwork for a series of projects that will take place this year. Our Parks and Recreation Director, Julie Goddard, has worked diligently to coordinate these extensive renovations and will oversee many new projects this year. Here is what's in store for 2024. McCann Park will become the location of Southgate's first tot lot. Waverly Park will be updated with a new playscape and other improvements. The final phase of Cobb Park will be completed to include new parking, pathways, and a full-size basketball court. And Kiwanis Park, affectionately known as our train park, will receive a lighted walking path. Our municipal complex will also be updated to include new soccer fields, tennis courts, pickleball courts, and an emerging new sport called paddle, P-A-D-E-L. You may not have heard of it yet, but paddle is the world's fastest growing racket sport and combines the elements of squash and tennis. This year's parks improvements will total over $2 million and represent the largest annual investment in our park system in 25 years. Thanks. We got some parks people out there. All right. Adding to Southgate's commitment, there will be a $55,000 grant from Wayne County Parks Millage to assist with one of our 2024 projects. I'd like to thank Wayne County Executive Warren Evans, the Wayne County Commission, and specifically Joe Palomera, a great friend of Southgate. He's our commissioner, obviously, for providing this assistance. Thank you, Joe. Participation in our recreational program also remained strong last year. Residents continue to enjoy the new splash pad at Market Center Park, basketball, ice skating, concerts in the park, soccer, golf, senior programming, our new dog park, and everything in between. Team hockey had another exceptional year in 2023 with a notable 20% increase year over year in participation. The ice skating program also excelled. Last year, the club nurtured 3 individual state champions and took 3rd place out of 40 teams in the state's Michigan Basic Skills competition. Our library also added a new story walk, which is a feature that was assisted by the Southgate Kiwanis Club. Parents and children can now enjoy a seasonal story as they walk and visit each station around the library and connecting pathway. Reliable infrastructure, safe neighborhoods, sound government, and enhanced recreational options increase the quality of life for our residents and make our community more attractive to visitors, future residents, and business owners. However, our long-term financial stability is directly related to creating a genuine partnership between the needs of our residents and that of our local entrepreneurs, commercial property owners, and corporate citizens. This proven philosophy has led to another extraordinary year for business growth and investment in 2023. Last year, our building department, under the leadership of Director Tim Leach, issued 2,669 building permits, which represented over $32 million in new construction and renovations to existing structures. This represents a 5% year-over-year increase and further validates that both residents and businesses increasingly see Southgate as a place that they want to invest in. Leading the way in 2023 were dozens of new businesses. Those new additions represent growth in every community district, or every commercial district that is, and across multiple business categories: retail, food service, medical, industrial, and professional. These new businesses include Royal Cement, Bubblegum Dentistry, Ross Dress for Less, Hoots Wings, Southgate Honda and Motorsports, Whiteman Architecture, and Fanatic U. As we enter 2024, many new commercial developments are already in the works. Those projects will represent an additional $24 million in investments, and we are only in the month of January. Thank you. These projects include the Southgate Surgical Center, Oasis Senior Living, Landmark Crossing, Kids Cottage Daycare, and the complete renovation of all 150 apartments at Deaconess Tower. And just to pique your interest a little further, this year is the first time in my administration that I believe that we have a viable developer for the vacant Aquinas High School site. But perhaps the most exciting commercial project on the horizon remains the $50 million transformation of the former Security Bank building into residential housing. Isn't it great just to see lights on in that building again? Well, we have developer Alex Begin and his wife, Diane, here. Please stand, Alex. We really appreciate everything you're doing for our community. And his wife Diane. The project, known as the Bank Tower Apartments, is expected to be completed by the summer of '25, but this year will mark the groundbreaking of the $5 million public park and pedestrian bridge that was funded through a Wayne County ARPA grant. The park will include a pavilion, workout stations, putting greens, tennis and pickleball courts, a perimeter walkway, and I will tell you, exceptional landscaping. The new pedestrian bridge will provide safe access across Trenton Road and will connect the new park space to the city's train park. The bridge will also serve as a striking new gateway into our community. There are indeed many positive changes coming in '24 and so much to look forward to. But as new and exciting developments come along, so do new potential issues. This year is the first year I will include the topics of information technology and cybersecurity to my State of the City address. The threat of cyber attacks and other breaches seem to increase exponentially in each year. To help combat those pending issues, the city hired Jason Rucker as our full-time IT director. Director Rucker has made significant strides to protect our vital records, computer systems, and anything with a digital footprint. Last year, he developed a program that provided cybersecurity training for both staff and elected officials. As of September, every staff member and office holder successfully completed the training. The city is also working to prepare our residents for online threats through our website. This new IT section is entitled Citizen Cyber Training and Information and is designed to bolster public awareness of cyber-related matters. This section includes free resources on topics such as internet safety for children, identifying scams, and what to do if you've been hacked. As I learn more about the complexity of securing our systems, I have gained a real understanding of the importance of implementing proven technology to help prevent and mitigate potential cyber attacks. Currently, most businesses and municipalities use two-factor authentication. This typically means a password and a code from a text message. However, there is an emerging technology that employs even greater security. It is known as multi-factor authentication, or MFA. MFA moves past traditional passwords and utilizes unique individualized cyber keys, or cybersecurity keys, as well as other advanced protocols. In 2023, the City of Southgate integrated the MFA system into our computer systems. This incredibly advanced level of digital security is currently being utilized by less than 1% of government agencies, not only in Michigan, but across the country. Once again, Southgate is in the forefront of innovation. Further, the Federal Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Agency, which is a division of the Department of Homeland Security, provides routine diagnostic reports to analyze and measure a city's cybersecurity posture. Since last May, these scans have reported that the City of Southgate's system has had zero vulnerabilities in our internet infrastructure. Director Rucker, and he's here today, continues to keep Southgate prepared and on the cutting edge of cybersecurity. President Reagan was right when he stated that there are no limits to growth and prosperity if you have the right people on your team. 2023 was another winning season for the City of Southgate. We fielded a team that continued to exhibit intelligence, innovation, and a bit of imagination to move our city forward. 2024 is shaping up to be another successful year. Our roster is resilient. Our coaching staff remains strong. And ladies and gentlemen, the grit is real. So as I conclude the State of the City address, I would like to share a brief encounter I recently had with a resident. He was behind the counter at one of our Southgate businesses, and I had a few questions. He answered them, and then he looked at me and he said, "Are you the mayor of Southgate?" Now, all the elected officials will understand this, and maybe some of the crowd as well, but when you get that question in the public, you just don't know which way that's going to go. Fortunately, this went pretty well. I answered yes that I was, and he looked at me again. He said, "I thought so." He said, "I got to tell you, you look a lot younger in person than you do in the newspaper." So, ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank each of you for coming out today and seeing the younger Mayor Cuspa, because once you see the coverage of this address in the local newspaper, I will have apparently aged tremendously. Have a great afternoon. May God continue to bless you, the great City of Southgate, and this glorious nation. Thank you, and please, we're going to have the... Okay, thank you. Thank you. Ed?
Joseph Cuspa, ladies and gentlemen, filling in, reminding you that nobody over the age of 70 was insulted today. Thank you, Mayor. We're an aging city that loves the young. We thank the young for your interest in politics. We thank you all for coming here today. Judge Mullins, by the way, Mayor, when you were speaking, announced she has a one-factor authentication at the court. You got cash, you're not going to jail. And I thank you, Judge. Please remain standing for the retirement of the colors and some of us aging comics up here, ladies and gentlemen. The Southgate Anderson High School Junior ROTC. Please step forward and please remain standing, ladies and gentlemen. And we'll give some, no benediction today, Reverend? No. All right. We'll have them up for a brief benediction after they retire the colors. Please remain standing and then dash out to get your cars before it snows again. Oh, I'm sorry.
Mark time. March. Color guard. Halt. Right. Face. Present. Arms. Order. Arms. Retire the colors. Left. Face. Forward. March.
Let's hear it for the Anderson High School Junior ROTC. Reverend, some brief closing words to continue this great spirit, and we call to mind again our thanks to the Southgate Rotary Club, for Rotary International, and for all the sponsors here today for continuing this legacy of scholarship and intuitiveness and moving the world forward. Thank you, Reverend.
Lord, we thank you again for this gathering. We ask and pray that you bless all the attendants, again, the civil servants, and all people here gathered, and our people of our community with health and happiness. For your blessed now and always to the ages of ages. Amen. God bless you all. Thank you.
Bar's open. Thank you, everybody. Have a great day.